We're gonna jump into a nice back testing session here on Labor Day. Happy Labor Day to everybody out there, man. But we're gonna jump into a quick back testing session, get our minds right for the week. Might not even be trading live this week. It is NFP week. Tomorrow's the day after a bank holiday, so it may be a little slow or things may be a little unusual. But Wednesday may be the only Wednesday and Thursday, maybe like the only trading days, and then after NFP, it'd be pretty clean. NFP week usually is like the Judas swing. I like to look at it as that sets up the monthly range, but that's for another day. So jumping into the session here, haven't been back testing in a minute. Just been studying, going into here. I'll show it here. Go over to ICT gems. This channel here is where I've been studying a lot of the 2023 mentorship things because I've been on a super deep dive with ICT's 2023 mentorship, as you can see. Um, but yeah, this channel here is super good for like clips of certain things that ICT talks about in the 2023 mentorship, like silver bullet, opening range gaps, how to trade the right order blocks, things like that, how to read price action without a bias, 50 an hour, right? That's an hour of gems, not an hour, not like 40 minutes of bullshit and then 20 minutes of gems. Straight hour of heat, and then there's like 96 videos here, so more than enough of content, things to take in. So that's where I've been getting most of the information from for the 2023 mentorship that I've been applying to the charts here. So I'll go ahead and run through this now. Do I have NQ on this? No, okay. Because I've been trading NQ a lot recently, but it is what it is. Um, but nothing's really changed other than, excuse me, I'm going through a cold or flu or whatever it is. Nothing's really changed other than adding in like new week opening gaps, um, trading only two times or at least two windows per day from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. and from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. So the AM session and the PM session. No trading on Mondays. Pretty much everything is straightforward from there. But starting out, I'll look at direction, see where the weekly is likely to go, the weekly and the daily, and then mark up my new week opening gaps. And then use those gaps as support and resistance. So looking at ES here, what did we just do? We just took out some liquidity here, traded up into this volume imbalance. Not even, we didn't even trade up into it. Looks like we came up into like the mean threshold of this order block here and then started displacing a little lower. Came down into this volume imbalance here, started respecting it. 50% of this wick as well. We find support there to push higher. So we can highlight this high up here. Actually, let's just go for like the range highs where liquidity is likely to be at. Sell side, and then on the daily, just looking at price. Yeah, sellers have been making a lot of money here, so may start, rolling. We've been taking out a ton of sell side. Came into the mean threshold of this consolidation, tapped it here, and then started pushing higher. So may see some movement higher, but we'll see how that goes. So I'll just start up marking up the new week opening gaps. Got to close here. We got to open here. And then I just eyeball the consequent encroachment. So that's 1. And I mark up 5 of them. So that was 1. This over here is 2. Got the close here. We got the open here. Weak opening gap. And C is like right there. Boom. So that's 2. And just to show how accurate my eyes are, there we go. So CE is really right there. So not too far off, but that's 2. Here's 3 right here. We got the close. We got the open. New weak opening gap. Then we got CE. Looks to be like right around here. There we go. That was 3. Here's 4. You can see it's small right here. We closed down here. And then we opened up here. This is a small one. But it is one nonetheless. So we'll go consequent encroachment right there. Pretty sure that's 4. And then last one here. There it is. We got the close here. New weak opening gap. And we got the open here. New weak opening gap. And then we got the CE. Right around there. Cool. So now this is what my chart looks like. So have a good amount of levels here that we can key off of. Okay, so this is Tuesday. And on my weekly chart, what I would like to see is one of 2 things, right? Either we're going to support this new week opening gap here and push higher into this one around 40, 49, come in here, and the relative equal highs here, or we're going to resist this mean threshold of this weekly order block. So I'll just mark it up here and put, actually I'll do this. Let me go here, here, OB. All right, so either we're going to resist this weekly order block mean threshold and trade lower, or blast through it, disrespect it, and push higher. But at the moment, we just took out some buy side levels. So I'll just mark that up, because I know that's what we did. We just took out some buy side. And we just changed the state and delivery here, but we're out of kill zone time, but we'll come to PM session and see what happens. Yeah. So just looking at it from this point of view, right? So for example, with this is my kill zone from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. So here we see 10 a.m. sweeps out liquidity here. We see immediate displacement here running to sell side. So now we have a fair value gap up in here that we would want to see price respect. So price comes up into it. We respect the consequent encroachment. We see the body stay below it. The wicks can color outside the lines. And then we see that displacement lower. Once we get the full fill here, this is now a balanced price range. And that's why on this wick, you can see it respects the consequent encroachment of this fair value gap here and then continues lower. Right, so now we get a breakaway gap here. The volume imbalance here is resisting price lower. 4 relative equal lows here, and ultimately I would want to see it come down. But let's see what the PM session looks like. Alrighty, so now on the 15-minute, excuse me. So we have this here, took out some liquidity here. So chilling around buy side liquidity that we just took out, but we just took out some more liquidity here. I would consider this lunch liquidity. So the lunch, well, this is like still 11, but here is lunch low. This is a lunch low right here, and it's like an AM low. So this is our range of opportunity here. We already took out buy side. Took out the buy side here. We have a 5-minute bearish order block right here. Price drove up, snatched out buy side liquidity, failed to close above it and displace higher, and then rolled over order block created. If we can come up into, I would say this inverse fair value gap or this volume imbalance here, then we could see lower prices. So now on the 1 minute, I'd want to see if this gap here gets respected. And we have some lows below us. There we go, we trade into it. Playing around it, working at this level here. So consequent encroachment is right here. Let's see how we're moving around it. Tap this 5-minute order block. And this is still in the first 30 minutes of the kill zone window. Price failing to displace above it. Let's see if we can hold that signature. We don't. We just continue higher. That's all good for me. It looks like price is going to continue pushing higher. So right around 230, came back up into this buy side level, and yeah, I'm not too interested in this. So yeah, there you go. And there's the end of it. So going back up. Now let's see what the next day looks like. All right, so we came up above this buy side level because there's a bunch of sellers or buyers above this high here. We bought, sold to them above here, above this high. We should have displaced lower if we were truly bearish. We should have displaced lower significantly, but we don't. Price comes down into fair value and then buys it again. So this lack of speed here lets me know that prices may look to push higher once more into this new week opening gap. And if you look on the daily, we can see this was a nice bullish candle closing above this high. These last two down candles can be looked at as an order block because all of this encompasses this, or at least these two candles overlap these over here. So this would be the bullish order block to push higher for buy side. So let's see how we move down to the 15-minute. I believe there's FOMC here. So cool. We took out some liquidity up here, but we have previous days high up here. Drop down into this fair value gap here, respect the consequent encroachment, create the low during London, push higher from there. This is our bullish order block. I want to see price support this level here, 15-minute. This is our block here. Buy side level there, buy side. So now that we took out some relative equal lows here, we can see an offset accumulation schematic here. So we took out some sell side here, traded down into an order block, also a inverse fair value gap, also the mean threshold of this wick right here. So a good amount of levels supporting this narrative here. Cool. So I would want to see if price can continue pushing higher. So in order to do that, I would need to see bullish price action, right? So now this is 10 a.m. We're just going to continue forward, trade it down into this volume imbalance. Let's see if we support that. Okay, we do. We end up pushing a little higher. This is all unclear. ES on the lower time frames is like ugly as hell, but it is what it is. We create a bullish order block here. So what I'll do is look at this. Because I'm bullish, I would want to make sure that I'm on side. I want to be able to push up for the buy side level up there. Right, so this would be my 5-minute level. So now in the lower time frame, I'm bugging, or did this just clear up a little bit? That's weird as hell. But we have a mitigation block, right? We have a nice volume imbalance in here. I would want to treat this as a breakaway gap. So if I were to get in this, my entry would be right here at this volume imbalance, stops at the fair value gap underneath these lows that got taken out to continue higher for buy side. So something like this. We'll go 1 to 3 on this. Go ahead and place an order, 0.5%. There's a fair value gap right here, right where we just took out these highs over here. So if you are familiar with the breaker block, this is it right here. You have a low, high, lower low, higher high. Here, let me zoom in. These last 2 up candles before the down move that took out the sell side would be an area of support. But I would look at this as being too high in the range. So if we find support here, then that's bullish order flow to continue higher, but I'd want to get in at a discount. There you go. That was the idea there. So that's solid idea, solid narrative, but just couldn't get in a trade. And we push up after taking out that buy side into 11 a.m. So boom, there it is. That's it for me for the AM. No trade taken there, but pushing over into the PM, there is, I believe, FOMC. So yeah, and then we pushed up into that new week opening gap. So I'll just skip FOMC as a whole and go on to the next AM session. Make sure this is being recorded. Yeah. Alrighty. Oh, interesting. So, this is very interesting now. And so, as we can see here, took out some liquidity here, but the main thing is we're respecting this new week opening gap, right? So, yes, we color outside the lines, but we trade right back down through it, respecting this level here, respecting the rejection block as well, and the mean threshold of this wick over here, and then trading and closing below this candle's high. So for me, that lets me know that we're most likely going to continue the bearishness, because if we were truly bearish, if we were truly bullish, we wouldn't have closed below this low, below this high here. So seeing this huge down candle here down, bouncing here at this new week opening gap, I want to see if we can come up into this inverse order block over here that was supporting price into bullishness. that should resist price into bearishness. So let's see how we react here. This is Thursday. This is the day after FOMC. So let me take off this buy side level. Note this as an hourly, and then also take into account this wick right here. And I'll just note the 50% of it. Cool. So this is 10 a.m. So we have relative equal lows here. And we have an order block. So that 15-minute wick, the mean threshold of this 15-minute wick right here on the 5-minute is a 5-minute order block. So I want to see that resist price lower. So let's see. Take out buy side liquidity here. Still pushing higher. Let's see if we can get up into this order block now. Once we tap that, I'll drop down into the lower time frame and go from there. There we go. Tap into it. So now that we're up inside of it, what I would want to see is a full fill here and start trading down to some lows. There we go. You get a breaker right here. So we have the high, low, higher high, lower low. Right, so this inverse gap here, I would want to see resist price lower. So I'll go ahead and take a trade right here because we'll most likely create a fair value gap. Let me see if we can. Oh, we don't. See if we can get displacement out of it. Oh, we don't. So we would have lost on this trade, but let's see how we're moving here. This is 1027. Not much. Not much. Price is bullish. Yeah, that's 11. Yep, that's it right there. So it looks like this order block ended up supporting price here. Let's see what the PM looks like. Interesting. Came up into the main threshold of this consolidation over here and then dropped. So we get a full fill on this BISHY. Leave open a breakaway gap, I would consider this as. And then this is our order block. So let's see on the 15-minute. Do have a 15-minute order block here. So I will want to see this be left open. And we have midnight open here. So discount is below midnight open. Now that we're above it, so this is our 15-minute order block. Let's see if we can get some resistance there. So I would want to see if we can come up into this volume imbalance here and then start to run lower. Looks like we're just pushing lower. Yeah, we're just pushing lower. There it is. Damn, where could I have gotten in? 2 o'clock is here. Respecting. There's this here, but man, but nothing. I mean, that's the trade. It gets there to the T. What's the open? 3999.50. What's the high? 3999.50. Yeah, that's perfection. That's to the T. I just didn't see it. That's cool. Save my mental capital, save my trade for another day. Next session. Oh, I didn't put the CE for that one. Oh, no. Okay. Alrighty, so now let's go to, okay, this is Friday now. Yeah, I'll skip this day and just go into next week. See how we do. Okay, so this is Tuesday now. Yeah, this is consolidation. We're just playing around, resisting and supporting new week opening gaps here. Run below this low here, tap into this new week opening gap, find support, push higher. These last three up candles drove down, sweeping the liquidity here. We expanded higher above it. Have relative equal highs up here, so these last three up candles should be support. So on a 15-minute, should see if we can find support at this breaker right here to push higher for buy side. Looks like we took out Monday's low. Took out Monday's low there, so that's pretty good. Let's see if we can get a shift here. Looks like we can. Nice. All right, so this is Monday's low. Run below this low here. There. Push higher. Fail to make a new low. Continuing to push higher. We fully fill in this inverse fair value gap here. You have a fair value gap down over here. We have relative equal highs all over here. So buy side is above this high, above this high, this high, this high. ES's action is a little bit, if I'm being honest. I'd want to get in somewhere here, something like this, because now this is a breaker. We have low, high, lower low, higher high. These last three up candles before this down move. Breaker. We support the consequent encroachment of this fair value gap here. So I'd want to see this play out. Going for a 1 to 3. See if we can get, I'll frame a 1 to 2.5, 1 to 2.5, or at least a trade back up into premium. So that's right back to the order block there. So let's see if we can play with this. Price displaces, continues. There's your probably institutional order flow entry drill. Yeah, price displaces. Want to see bullishness. Oh, we get tapped in. I don't like how we got tapped in there. Looks like we're finding support here. I don't want to see price close below this. This is my invalidation point. Left a gap down. Look here, we may get closed out, so I'm gonna close out here. Yeah. The reason why I knew, or at least had a feeling or an idea that we may be closed out is because we gapped down here, creating a volume imbalance, respecting this SIBI to push lower. So good on me for closing out quick. Let's see how we do from here though. Yeah, price just trades lower. Cool. Next session, let's see what we do here for the PM. Okay, we just displaced a little lower. Looks like we're disregarding this here, so let's take that off. Looks like we're respecting the mean threshold. I have to get into the habit of not forcing trades, being comfortable with, not taking anything. It's hard because I want to make money. I want to get in. I want to get in. But it's one thing to know when to execute and one thing to know when to sit out. So let's see here. We have this fair value gap here with this 15-minute order block. I want to see if price can tap into this and start to push lower for that new week opening gap. Oh shit, I'm on a 5-minute. Yeah, same idea. Get the Jew to swing higher, and then we start to shift. This volume imbalance is looking like it's resisting price here. Just above it, traded up into this. No trade. Yeah, ES's 1 minute is shit. This is terrible. ES on the 1 minute is no bueno. Cool. Price ends up pushing higher, taking out buy side. Traded down. This breaker ended up supporting price and then just gives up the ghost and pushes up for new week opening gap. So open is over here. We came down, respected the mean threshold of this wick, expanded higher. Let me see. I want to see if we could take out these lows down here and then push higher. There we go. We took out those lows. Create an order block, create a volume imbalance and a fair value gap. I like this here. Right there. And I'm targeting the new week opening gap. Place the trade. We get tapped in. I want to see this fair value gap here, support price. You guys see it. And I want to see this order block support price as well. We get stopped out. All good. Because at the end, like this gap here should be supporting price higher. That's why I was looking for that buy. Maybe it's this right here. Nah, doesn't look like it. It looks like we're pretty off today. Been getting caught on the wrong side. Let's go 2 p.m. And we ended up pushing up higher. Anyways, interesting. Tap this new week opening gap. Take out the buy side here. We have relative equal lows below us. Sell side, buy side, get taken out. Tap the new week opening gap. Shift structure here, fair value gap here, left open, breakaway gap, fulfill. The BISI here, leave open, a fair value gap here. I'd want to see if we can get up into this gap up here and then trade lower. Yeah, let me just take this trade here. And we have a breaker right here as well. High, low, higher, high, lower, low. This is my breaker. This looks like it makes sense for the lower prices, so we shall see here. There we go. Pushed up into that 5-minute fair value gap, respecting the consequent encroachment. Order block gets created right here. I'm going to take my entry here. Stops above the 5-minute fair value gap high, and I'm targeting these lows down here. So what I'll do is place the order like this. First TP or first partial is here. Second partial is over here. Triggered in there. Tap the fair value gap again. Body's respecting. Got stopped out. All good. Losing streak. It is what it is. I'm gonna take this off for today. So there we go.